This is the woman called by the man's name. To take away our reproach. Now, I look up that word reproach. It means disgrace. Now, I believe and I've seen women cry when their feelings was hurt. But it's saying the 7 is another completion. Now that's 7 women gonna take hold of one man. They're gonna say we will eat our own bread, we'll eat the right food, according to the dietary law, and wear our own apparel, wear the clothes that the Most High told us they're supposed to be wearing, covering themselves up with fringes and ribbon of blue on the borders of their garments. And be called by that name. That means they're going to be your wife. 7 women. So is that abomination? So now it's like, so that, it says, help me here, because it tells you in Ecclesiastes 3rd chapter, let's look at Ecclesiastes, the 1st chapter. It says, verse 9, the thing that has been, the thing that was in the past, and we read in the Old Testament, it is that which shall be. The thing that's in the past is that which shall be in the future. And that which is done, that which being done now, today, and this year, this day, is that which shall be done. Something like this going to be done in the future. And there is no new thing under the sun. Is there anything where it may be said, see, this is new. See, I got to come up with something that's new. He said, hey, this is something new. See, this is new. It has been already of old time, which was before us. There's no remembrance of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after. And remembrance of no former things. So all y'all talking about this person is this person, that person is that person. It's ain't no remembrance of former things. They can't remember. They asked John the Baptist, are you the spirit of Elijah? He said, no. I knew that he was the spirit of Elijah. He didn't know it. You don't know who you are. How a man going to determine who you are, who you was in a past life? No, he said there's no remembrance of former things. Neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after. You ain't going to remember this place. You ain't going to remember nothing about this place. So, when you look at Isaiah 4:1, it says, and in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name, to take away our reproach. Now that word reproach is very deep, because that means that women going to be crying in the kingdom. They're going to be crying in the kingdom. They're going to be shedding tears. Is that real? That's how it says there should be no tears. Gonna wipe all the tears away. Wipe all the tears away. What reproach are they gonna have in the kingdom? And the thing about it is, this don't even apply to a lot of women that's, holier than thou, and they in their own way, feeling that they're the gift to man, the best gift that man could ever have. But yet still, and it don't involve them, I don't have no man. But they really are against this topic. And like I said, I'm not promoting it, because it's not for everyone, because everyone can't handle it. Everyone's not prepared to deal with this in this day and time. There's a lot that you have to consider. But are women going to be crying in the kingdom? Are they going to be disgraced or reproached in the kingdom? I don't think so. The Most High said He's going to wipe away every tear from my eyes. We're going to have no more tear ducts. You ain't going to cry no more. You're going to be happy. For once. Look at we gotta go into this spiritually too, because and remember, 7 is number completion. So it might be 7, it might be another number. A complete number that one man gonna have. So you have to accept this if you're gonna go into the kingdom. They say if it's in the kingdom, it's gonna be in the kingdom, because how many of you women gonna fulfill this scripture? This is the kingdom. We're going to the kingdom. Isaiah 60 and 21. Comment, let me know. Talk to me. It says, thy people also shall be all righteous. In the kingdom, we're going to be all righteous. They shall inherit the land forever. We're going to inherit the land forever. The branch of my plan. The Most High going to do this. Don't let no man tell you got to go somewhere. The Most High say He going to do it. The work of my hands, the work of Most High's hands. He going to do it. Now, no man but the Most High. But it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of living power for somebody to think they're going to do what He say He going to do, that He get the glory. Listen. The branch of my planting, the work of my hands, that I may be glorified. That's the Most High could be glorified. He's going to do this so He could be glorified. Listen, I'm here because of this. 22. A little one shall become 1,000. Now, you women out there, y'all ready to bring forth 1,000 children? I don't think so. A little one shall become 1,000, and a small one a strong nation. I, the Most High, will hasten it in His time. That's what He said He's going to do. So, we have to consider this and really look into this, because it's very important. Now, let's go into a way of, I asked the question, that's why I asked, would the Most High, Mashiach, give us something that's an abomination as an example of a parable? And the majority of you should say no. So let's go to Ezekiel, the 23rd chapter. And we're going to look at verse 1. Ezekiel 23, verse 1. And the word of the Most High came again unto me, saying, Son of man, there were two women, the daughters of one mother, and they committed whoredoms in Egypt. They committed whoredoms in their youth. And they were young. They committed whoredoms. There were their breast pressed, and they bruised the teats of their virginity. Lost their virginity. Okay? And the names of them were Aholah the elder, and Aholabah her sister. And they were mine. That's two women. Verse 2, Son of man, there were two women. Verse 4, and the names of them were Aholah the elder, and Aholabah her sister. And they were mine, these two women. and they bear sons and daughters. Thus were their names. Samaria is Aholah, that's the northern tribes of Israel, and Jerusalem, or Judah, Oholibah. Now, it's talking about the northern tribes and the southern tribes of Israel. Which represent the 12 tribes of Israel. But he's calling them, in verse 2, Son of man, there were 2 women, the daughters of one mother, right? 2 women. And he said in verse 4 that they are mine, right? So, when you look at this, go to bear with me for a second. Look at Jeremiah 31 and 31. It's the covenant that the Most High made with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob to the 12 tribes of Israel. Jeremiah 31, 31. Behold, the days come, said the Most High, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. That's the northern tribes and the southern tribes. The 2 women that we just read about, that the Most High said committed whoredom against him. They were his, right? So let's see what it says here. Not according to the covenant, the contract agreement that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant, their contract agreement, they break, although I was an husband unto them, said the Most High. Now, why would he say that if it's an abomination? And I'm looking at it and saying, okay, well, why would he say, although he was a husband unto 12 tribes of Israel? Because it's symbolically representing the Most High being a husband. That's why Jeremiah 6 and 2. To the 12 tribes of Israel. Symbolically. Jeremiah 6 and 2. I have likened the daughter of Zion. I have likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman. See? So it's symbolic. You say, liken the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman. So it's symbolic. Just like you look at Isaiah 47th chapter, he considers Edom as a woman. Isaiah 47 and 7. It says, and thou sayest, I shall be a lady forever. See? I shall be a lady forever. So that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, which is thy mind, neither did you remember the latter end of it. Therefore hear now this, thou that art given the pleasures, that dwelleth carelessly, that saith in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. They're the ones that say that they're the Most High, they're Mashek, they drew their pictures in the Bibles and all kind of archaeology and so forth, pictures and so forth. I shall not sit a widow. A widow is a woman. Neither shall I know the loss of children. See? But these 2 things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. Widowhood means you're going to lose the men. That the women going to be widows. Widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection in the multitude of thy sorceries, and for thy great abundance of thine enchantments, witchcraft and so forth. So just let you know that he's looking at them as a woman, as a lady. You see, so it's the same thing that we're looking at when you look at verse 1. It says, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Virgin, daughter of Babylon. These are women. These are characteristics of women. Virgin is a woman. Daughter is definitely a woman of Babylon. sit on the ground. There is no throne. O daughter, that's a woman of the Chaldeans. But thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. See? So it's just showing you, I'm just showing you that in many case scenarios there are scriptures that show that symbolically he's calling Israel a comely and delicate woman. He's telling Esau that they're going to be dealt with as she sit as a lady forever. You're not going to sit as a lady forever. Saying that you're the Most High, saying that you're a Mashak Yahushai, so you're going to be dealt with. Like we were dealt with. Everybody going to be dealt with. Period. You're going to be a remnant of everybody. 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel and a remnant of these nations. Period. So it behooves you to really look at what it is that's coming out and not go against it, but go with the flow. Because it's amazing to me. Some of this don't have nothing to do with none of y'all. You don't have nothing to do with this. But yet still you're going to holler and scream and whatever. You do your life. Do whatever you got to do. Like I said, I'm not promoting this because I haven't, but it's not against the law. You can't take me to one scripture and say that's what it's about. I'm telling you all these scriptures. Judges, the 8th chapter and the 30th verse. Judges 8 and 30. And Gideon had 70 sons of his body begotten, for he had many wives. Gideon had 70 sons. That's 70 sons. The score is 20. So he had 70 sons of his body begotten, for he had many wives. And his concubine that was in Shechem, she also bare him a son, whose name he called Abimelech. See? So this is what our custom was. And all the nations that's dealing with this came from the customs of us, we the children of Israel. Judges 5. Judges the 5th chapter, 29th verse. Judges 5:29. Her wise ladies answered her, yeah. She returned answer to herself. Answer to herself. Have they not spared? Have they not divided the prey? They're worried about this man. Say, to every man a damsel or what? Or two. To every man a damsel or two. To Sisera a prey of diverse colors, a prey of diverse colors of needlework, on both sides, meat for the necks of them that take the spoil. But listen what it say. Have they not spared? Have they not divided the prey? This is in winning the war. To every man a damsel or two. To every man a damsel or two. One lady or two women. There it is right there. Judges 10th chapter, verse 1. And after Abimelech, there arose to defend Israel Tola the son of Puah, the son of Dodo, a man of Issachar, and he dwelt in Shamir in Mount Ephraim. And he judged Israel 23 years and died, and was buried in Shamir. And after him arose Jair, a Gileadite, and judged Israel 22 years. And he had 30 sons. And he had 30 sons that rode on 30 ass coats. And they had 30 cities, which was called Havoth Joab unto this day, which was in the land of Gideon. Okay? So, look at 1 Samuel's, the first chapter. 1 Samuel's 1 and 1. Now it came to pass after the death of Saul, when David was returned from the slaughter of the Amalekites, that's the Jewish people today, and David had abode 2 days in Ziklag, it came even to pass on the 3rd day that, behold, a man came out of the camp from Saul with his clothes rent and earth upon his head. And so it was when he came to David that he fell to the earth and did obeisance. honoring him. And David said unto him, From whence comest thou? And he said unto him, Out of the camp of Israel am I escaped. And David said unto him, How went the matter? I pray thee, tell me. And he answered, That the people are fled from the battle, and many of the people also are fallen and dead. And Saul and Jonathan his son are dead also. That's when Saul, he got the message that Saul died. But I'm in 2 Samuel, Salaki. Or been 1 Samuel 21. Now there was a certain man of Ramathaim Zophim of Mount Ephraim, northern Israel. And his name was Elkanah, the son of Jeroham, the son of Elihu, the son of Tohu, the son of Zeus, and Ephrathite. And he had 2 wives. The name of the one was Hannah, and the name of the other Peninnah. And Peninnah had children, but Hannah had no children. So Hannah is the one that the Most High blessed to have Samuel. But the man had 2 wives. See it clearly here. Revelations 21 and 10. And he carried me away in the spirit to a great and high mountain, and showed me that great city, the holy Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from the Most High, having the glory of the Most High, and her light was like in her, and the glory of the Most High, and her light was like unto a stone most precious, even like a jasper stone, clear as crystal. See how the Most High used her sometime in the place of certain things, giving an explanation of what it is that it is. And her, and the glory of the Most High, and her light was like unto a stone most precious, even like a jasper stone, clear and crystal. It had a wall great and high. This is New Jerusalem coming down from the sky, already prepared for us. Each gate had the name of the 12 tribes of Israel on them. Oh yeah. So look at Revelation 18 and verse 23. It says, "And the light of a candle," this is in America, "and the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee," in America. And it takes us in this verse, it tell you take up 1 hour, you're going to destroy this place. "And the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee." Ain't gonna be no marriages, ain't no husband, like I say, the bridegroom and the bride, the husband and the wife, the bride, shall be heard no more at all in thee, for thy merchants were the great men of the earth, for by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. So they'll fool everybody by this sorcery, witchcraft. And in her was found the blood of prophets and of saints and of all that were slain upon the earth. And you know a lot of us going to be slain. So, but we know the result is what we just read. Hallelujah. Look at so you know, like I said, in Isaiah 4 and 1, Isaiah 4 and 1, it says, "And in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, We will eat our own bread, and wear our own apparel, only let us be called by thy name. And the woman takes on the last name of a man to take away our reproach, take away our disgrace. Now, you got to show me in the kingdom how our women going to be disgraced. Going to be reproached. I mean, that's what reproach means, disgrace. Now, the Most High told us in Revelation 21. In verse 4. And the Most High shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying. So you mean to tell me our women going to be reproached, they're going to be disgraced? And our women be disgraced, they got feelings, they got them emotions, they're going to start crying. Listen what it says in the kingdom. And the Most High shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, no more dying, neither sorrow nor crying. Hear that? Nor crying. Neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. And he that sat upon the throne said, Behold, I'll make all things new. And he said unto me, Write, for these words are true and faithful. Hallelujah. That's right, man. I mean, let you know, man. He wiping away all tears from our eyes. No more tears. No more sorrow. No more pain. Look at Isaiah 25 and 8. He will swallow up death, as we just read, in victory. And the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob will wipe away tears from off all faces, and the rebuke of his people shall be he take away from off all the earth. For the Most High has spoken it. This was the Most High promise. There'll be no crying in the kingdom, no sadness in the kingdom. When you get to the kingdom, we make it, man, we're gonna be hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. We're gonna be, man. It's gonna be beautiful. You look at the kingdom, you talk about the kingdom, we showing it now. We long to be there. I say, you know, it's you have to really look at this, because look at Isaiah 35 and 10 in the kingdom. And the ransom of the Most High shall return, which is the 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel, and come to Zion with songs, singing songs, and everlasting joy upon their heads. Joy. So you happy? You ain't crying. He gonna wipe away all the tears. Remember, he said he gonna wipe away all the tears. Everlasting joy upon their heads. They shall obtain joy and gladness, and sorrow and sighing shall flee away. Ain't no woman gonna be reproached in the kingdom. He just said it. Sorrow and sighing shall flee away. Finished. Never to be heard of again. That's why it's worth all it takes to be able to get there. Isaiah 51 and 11. The kingdom. Therefore, the redeemed of the Most High, so the ransom, now the redeemed is the 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel, shall return and come with singing unto Zion. You're going to come singing songs of Zion. And everlasting joy shall be upon their head. they shall obtain gladness and joy, and sorrow and mourning shall flee away. Ain't gonna be no reproach. Ain't gonna be no disgrace. Sorrow and mourning shall flee away. Ain't gonna be no more of that. You can't make it mean nothing but what it is that we reading here. That's it. Sorrow and mourning shall flee away. No more sorrow. No more crying. No more reproaches. Finished. Done away with. That's why it's so important us do what we need to do to make it. Our names will be written in the book of life. Look at Isaiah 61. Verse 3. To appoint unto them that mourn in Zion, to give unto them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they might be called trees of righteousness. Trees of righteousness, the planting of the Most High, that he might be glorified. Don't let no man tell you he's going to plant you there. No. That's that the Most High can be glorified. Understand this. Overstand this. Isaiah 65 and 19. And I will rejoice in Jerusalem and joy in my people. That's happiness. And the voice of weeping shall be no more heard in her. Ain't gonna be no reproach, no disgrace of our women. That's why I say even women that don't have to deal with a man having more than one wife, you gotta accept that wholeheartedly, or you against the spirit of the Most High. And you haven't written there for nothing. So you'll be here. And if so, then you gotta make the best of it and not be prideful and envious and wanting to have your own way, contrary to our culture. Once again, Isaiah 65 and 19. I will rejoice in Jerusalem and joy in my people, and the voice of weeping, crying, wailing, the lamentations shall be no more heard in her, nor the voice of crying. Hear that? There shall no more thence an infant of days, nor an old man that hath not fulfilled his days. For the child shall die 100 years old, but the sinner being 100 years old shall be accursed. See? Does that sound beautiful? Sounds so wonderful. So, that's why I say when we look at this, we got to look at how sometimes it's symbolic, but he's not going to give us a symbolism of anything or a parable of anything that would be an abomination that we could take it and then run. Like he wouldn't say that. Like I say, he wouldn't sit down. Say they sat down. Righteous men sat down and ate pork chops. Now, if you eat pork chops, that lets you know that you're wicked. Like the apostles went to get meat. They ain't go to get no pork chops. They ain't go get no abomination. They went to get the things that are in the dietary law. Clean meat. Look at Jeremiah 3:14. Turn, O backsliding children, said the Most High, for I am married unto you. He married unto us. And I will take you one of a city and two of a family, and I will bring you to Zion. And I will give you pastors according to mine heart, his mind, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. Now you see here, he said, I am married unto you. Just like he said in Ezekiel 23. About the two women. Why would he use something that's an abomination? Now we can look at that and say, oh, okay, well he's married to more than one, because I mean there's a lot of us. We more newer than the sand of the sea and the stars of the sky. But Ezekiel 23:1, it says, the word of the Most High came again unto me, saying, Son of man, there were two women, the daughters of one mother. Verse 4, and the names of them were Aholah the elder, and Aholibah her sister. And they were mine. Two women was his. And they bare sons and daughters, like we've been reading about. Those that had more than one wife, they had sons and daughters. Thus were their names. Samaria, northern Israel, is Aholah, and Jerusalem, which is Judah, represent the tribes of Judah and Benjamin and Levi, Aholibah. Those are their names. But he's giving you he wouldn't give you something that's an abomination. And Olah, they played the harlot, and she was mine, meaning dealing with idolatry. That's what he's talking about. And you understand what he's talking about. So it's important that we look at this and we make your own decision. You know, like I said, I'm not promoting man having more than one wife, but it's here. And the examples are here. And you make your own decision. Let the Most High be true and every man a liar, right? So you make your own decision. But look at Isaiah 61. I'm going to still deal with the fact that H.O.I, when he was on the earth in the flesh, in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and Paul, none of them had the New Testament as we have it today. It's written for us. But look at this. Isaiah 61:1. The Spirit of the Most High power is upon me, because the Most High hath anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He hath sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison to them that are bound, to proclaim the acceptable year of the Most High. I'm going to stop there, because that's all. Well, I could keep on reading. That's all that H.O.I said when we go to his words. Because this next part he haven't done, but he's coming to do that. He's coming to do this in the day of vengeance of our power to comfort all that mourn. He didn't say that. Because the day of vengeance of the Most High is coming when he fulfilled Revelation 19:11. When he come to judge and make war. Now, looking at this, go to Luke, the 4th chapter. That's the Old Testament, right? So you can wait till from now to eternity. Find me scriptures that H.O.I read, quoted from in Paul's writings, in 1 Peter, 2 Peter, in James' writings, and so forth. He quoted from their writings. You won't find it. So when you say the Old Testament done away with, you ain't dealing with the Old Testament, it was the law and the prophets, then you're not dealing with him. Luke 4:18. The Spirit of the Most High, well, let's read above that. Start at 16. And he came to Nazareth, where he had been brought up. And as his custom was, this is his custom. You want to follow H.O.I, he went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day. Remember on the Sabbath day, they read the law and the prophets. And stood up before to read. What are you going to read? He stood up for to read. What is he going to read? Revelation, the book of Revelations? Any books of Paul? Did Paul exist at this time? Was Paul on the scene where the H.O.I identified him when he was in the flesh as Saul? What about Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John? They learning from him. They right there with him. How their books exist? They're scribing what's going on. Verse 16, and he came to Nazareth, where he had been brought up, And as his custom was, he went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day and stood up for to read. And there was delivered unto him the book of the prophet Isaiah. And when he had opened the book, he found the place where it was written, The Spirit of the Most High is upon me, because he hath anointed me to preach the gospel of the poor, to the poor. He hath sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captives, and recovering of sight to the blind, to set at liberty them that are bruised, to preach the acceptable year of the Most High. And he closed the book. You see, he didn't read this part in verse 2 of Isaiah 61. And the day of vengeance of our power to comfort all that mourn. He didn't read that part. He didn't read that. Because the day of the vengeance wasn't there. He had to come to die for the sins of the 12 tribes of Israel. Verse 20 of Luke the 4th chapter. And he closed the book, and he gave it again to the minister, and sat down, and the eyes of all them that were in the synagogue were fastened on him. They're looking at it. And he began to say unto them, This day is this scripture fulfilled in your ears. And all bare him witness, and wondered at the gracious words which proceeded out of his mouth. And they said, Is not this Joseph's son? Why they say it's not this Mary's son? They said, Is not this Joseph's son? Another mystery that the world has been duped in believing. It came about in the late 1800s. Immaculate Conception. And he said unto them, You will surely say unto me this proverb, Physician, heal thyself. Whatsoever we have heard done in Capernaum, do also here in thy country. He said, Verily I say unto you, no prophet is accepted in his own country. It's cold. All the miracles he done. How many? More than could be put in all the books of the world couldn't contain the miracles he done. And they still didn't accept them. As it is today. That's why he come back to judge and make war. And burn people up. Hopefully we won't be one of them if we continue in the proper way of fulfilling the Most High's laws, such commandments. We don't have to be concerned about it. But we always think of ourselves as not doing enough, trying to get better. Wretched us. Menstrual cloth us. Wicked us. But all you righteous, holier than thou people, may the Most High have mercy on you. There's so many people nowadays, and even those coming to the truth, they tell you knowledge puffs up, and they really think that they really are in the spirit, in the H.O.D.C, not knowing these mysteries, but yet still they think they can rebuke an elder,